Hello, let's play the hidden black and white Neo Geo Pocket Color game. Well, actually, it's sort of a Neo Geo Pocket game called Yosaku. This is not a standalone game that you could buy in a cartridge on its own. And here you see the startup screen for it. I don't know what that says. Maybe I should try translating that. Let's see what my Google Translate tells me. This is fun. This is fun viewing. Translate. Oh, okay. Camera. No, we're going with camera. Camera, wake up. It says, this game software appears to be Neo Geo Pocket in color, but not in monochrome. And then you get text that's actually in English. The text at the bottom, Shin Nihon Kikaku, that is what SNK stands for, the SNK being the company that made this game and the game that it sort of came with. Now I forget what Shin Nihon Kikaku means. What does Shin Nihon Kikaku mean? Oh, New Japan Project is what Shin Nihon Kikaku means. So I tried looking up what Yosaku means, but I failed at that. Why did my emulator get paused? This is going really well. Okay. So this is actually in the game in a Neo Geo Pocket Color game called King of Fighters Battle to Paradise, which came out in Japan and was for the Neo Geo Pocket Color system. If I switch this, I'm running this in an emulator. This is the Battle to Paradise ROM that I'm running in an emulator, an old emulator called NeoPop, that lets you pick if you're wanting to emulate running the ROM in a Neo Geo Pocket Color console or in a Neo Geo Pocket console. Neo Geo Pocket was the predecessor to Neo Geo Pocket Color, and it was only a black and white system. So if I set NeoPop to emulate a color Neo Geo Pocket Color system, then you get the normal King of Fighters Battle to Paradise boot up. And
the King of Fighters Battle Paradise.
That's right, or Battle of Paradise, as he says. You get this whole thing, so it's like a board game type thing. But if you tell NeoPop, the emulator, to emulate running the Battle to Paradise ROM in a Neo Geo Pocket, this is what happens. The screen comes up, tells you, "Hey, stupid, you're using a monochrome system. This cartridge is for a color system." But then you hit a button and it goes to an actual game that you can play. It's kind of like a mini game, and it's in black and white because this would be for someone who had stuck the color game cartridge in an old black and white system. And you're like, what? So you're like playing this woodcutter, and you chop down trees, hopefully in a sustainable fashion. And there are snakes that come up the screen and will kill you. There are birds who fly overhead and drop droppings, and if those large droppings hit you, you die. There are these wild boars who come, but the trees protect you from the droppings. Wild boars who come rampaging out, and they will kill you. The problem with the boars is if one had come from the right side of the screen there, I would have been dead. I'm still dead because I got the timing of my axe chop wrong. The axe chop is, it's just kind of short range. I'm getting murdered by this boar. The rice bowls at the bottom of the screen on the left show the number of, I waited too long, number of lives you have left. So all I have to do is kill this boar to pass this first what stage am I on? First stage, right? And I can't even, okay. I think that was stage 2, I don't know. And then you start over with 3 new trees, and it just gets harder in terms of the obstacles that it throws at you. Oh, I missed a chop on the other side there. I like how he's got a little hood, little patch on one knee. I mean, you get the feeling like maybe he's not the best woodsman. But he's trying, you know. He's, oh, see there. You don't want to hang out at the side of the screen too long, but you have to get those, the outside chops on the side trees. And you have to whack a certain number of boars to clear the stage as well, apparently. So it's just this kind of really brutal, unforgiving, arcade-style game. I like his expression, like he's like, gosh dang it, there's snakes and birds and boars, I want to get out of here. Getting a little better at the boar thing. Uh-oh. Okay, that was close. Now, I wonder if I could sort of predict if a boar is going to rampage on... No, I was wondering because the last boar had come from the left, and it had been a while since a boar had come. And then I decided to go for it, and immediately the boar came. So what can I do? I don't know. I mean, it's got to be a pattern or something. Well, it doesn't have to be, but it's probably a pattern. The axe detection, hit detection on the tree is also a little different than what you might expect. Like, you don't necessarily line the axe up with where the chop marks appear. So that can be a little confusing. Okay, the boar came out from the left side twice in a row, so that's not helping in terms of knowing which side it's always going to come from. And I don't know if it's a fixed pattern. I wonder if maybe you should go for the outside ones first, like do boar attacks. Oh my gosh! Well, there's the boar who might have got me, but that snake was like light speed snake. Like, what was the deal with? There was no getting away from that guy. Oh, see, that just misses. Okay. You recover very slowly from a chop, so... Not too soon. So if you're, like, mid-chop and a bird dropping is coming, you could be in trouble. Too late, gosh. It's a really narrow window, and now I've forgotten the range and timing. And the chop is slow. I mean, it's very slow, so you can't just, like, spam chops hoping to get the boar. That is very likely to fail and get you killed. I like how he walks. Like, they really animated this little guy. Like, look at his arms. His whole body's kind of pumping. His jaw's moving. Wham! I don't know what my high score is. It doesn't, like, save scores or anything. I did make a shaky cam video of this a long time ago. Before I was able to... There's a super fast snake again. I was able to dump my cartridge ROMs and play it nice and tidy in an emulator for recording, but I don't remember what score I got at that point. That was a few years back. It's in my channel. You search for Yosaku. It should come up. I like this minimalist music. Okay. That's a good setup so far. Oh no, why did I swing then? It's over. 2,600. Man. Normally I use the emulator Mednafen for emulating, or I have been trying to, emulating Neo Geo Pocket and Pocket Color games. The problem is, while it actually uses NeoPop's code, it's even inherited NeoPop's old bugs, very specific bugs. It doesn't have the same menu system that NeoPop had. It's a command line only, and it does not appear to have a command line equivalent of the Neo. Oh, I panicked. I was pinned between a dropping and a boar, and I just swung too early. And Mendefin does not appear to have a command line equivalent to the NeoPop menu setting for telling it to like emulate a black and white system with a color cartridge loaded. So I can't get Mendefin to run Yosaku if I load the Battle to Paradise ROM. No matter what, it just emulates a color system. The Mendefin emulator does, so I have to use the even older. Well, I shouldn't say even older. Mendefin gets updated fairly regularly, but I don't think they update their Neo Geo Pocket Color emulation a whole lot. I mean, I have no idea, but it still has some old bugs that the last version of NeoPop, which is from like the early 2000s, lists as having. Phew. Okay. Oh no. Come on, Snake. Gotcha. Oh no. I took one chop too many. You see death coming from a ways off because he takes so long to recover from that chop. There's nothing you can do. Ah! I shouldn't just bash away at the button so much, but I can't help it. I want to chop faster. Oh my goodness! Oh my goodness, I got everything coming at me from all sides. And I was not quite on the ball. I would have had to move a lot faster to the left to avoid that dropping, I think. Okay, that was an extra chop. That's not good. Oh gosh. Okay. It's weird. It takes like 4 chops to make 3 notches. 2, 3. Ah, 2900. So is it like the middle chop takes, the middle notch animation takes like 2 chops? Because the first one goes in 1. Oh, that took like 3? Oh, I guess you only ever get 2, so the first notch goes on the first one, and then it takes 3 more? I can't even count to 3 or 4. 1, okay. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, 3. Okay. Dang snakes. bird dropping sound, this weird little, like, tinkle. Ooh, oh gosh. That was rough, man. They were all spread out and they all could have hit me. I tried to move out from under the dropping, but it just wasn't. It's tough being a woodsman. I mean, this is when you find like 3 perfect trees, but there's all these horrible dangers. Like, this should be the easy, well, not the easy part, but the straightforward part of your job, and gosh. Can you axe a dropping, do you think? Doesn't seem like you could. Oh, you can't axe a snake because they don't. Oh, I pulled the trigger too soon, so to speak. Okay, come on, come on. Okay, so yeah, getting the outside chops in is good. Get those in first. Uh-oh. The boar, I think, is going faster now. That seemed like a faster boar. Oh, I thought that snake was going to get me. Maybe the snake's hurt box or whatever is not actually as wide as I thought. Or maybe my toe biting box isn't as wide. I don't know. I don't think has a snake got me yet? Uh-oh, it's gonna get me. Yeah. I'll ask a stupid question. Has a snake got me yet? Yes, moron. Tree saved me. And yet I'm cutting them down. Oh, yeah, the turbo snakes. I got 39,000 so far. I could cross the 4K barrier here. 10 points a chop. I don't know if that was like a... Oh, turbo snake. Ah, I panicked. Well, 40,000 or 40,000. 40,000. Now I got 40. Oh yeah, so the last chop doesn't give you 10, it gives you 100. But it's not like you get 10 for the chop and then 100. I did this all in the wrong order. And then 100 for the tree. You get 100 total for both the last chop and essentially it being the last chop that takes the tree down. So you end up with, it takes 8 chops to get a tree, but you end up with 170 points from a tree, not 180. Because the last chop, I did that wrong too. Oh, perfect shot, bird. Oh my gosh, they were not giving me any slack, and I screwed up because I chopped the first tree all the way down instead of going for the outside of the right-hand tree before going for both sides of the left-hand tree. And look where it got me. It got me murdered by a boar. There was a frame or so after getting the boar before it actually registered the level clear, and I was Starting to feel sure that snake was gonna bite me. Within that tiny window of time. Okay, don't waste time. Ah! I don't know why I don't turn and take that thing out. That's a mistake. The snake. It's basically when two things are converging on you at once, so you're kind of hosed. If they're close enough already, there just isn't. Your guy can't chop and move fast enough. Just screwed up the timing. I think the boar does move, start to come faster, which would mean you have to keep readjusting your timing for him. I could be wrong. Could very easily be wrong about that and just making excuses for my inconsistency at boar felling. See, why don't I just take this out anyway? So, no, I'm sure that boar was faster. Ah, going bad, doing bad. Whatever it takes. Halfway expecting the bird droppings to get up and start walking at me or something. How much does the boar get me? I mean, if it's 170 per tree and there's 3 trees, I mean, do the math. That's what, 510? Something like that. I did it wrong. Did it wrong. Could get rampaged on by the boar from the right. Okay. Ooh, geez, bird. What have you been eating? Golly. Ugh. Oh, so I don't know if that snake would have got me or what. It was right on the outside of my left outside toe. I'm toast. That was a kind of fast snake, and he was right in the middle of my position. 4,200. Should I keep going? What the heck time is it here? I'm gonna, one more. Come on, snake. So yeah, I'm pretty sure that at least like the snake seems to be random. Cause I sure don't. And I think the boar's move time, the times it appears are somewhat random. Oh, dang it, snake. Not that it matters because the last boar is kind of takes its time and it only is coming out when I have taken down all the trees, and so then that forces the final boar attack to happen immediately. I wonder if it's always like that or if there is a time that you waited where the final boar would come out before if you didn't take down all the trees. See, now this is a wasted movement too. I should have probably just started on that. The snake decided to get me. Should have just started on the outside of this tree. The center one, I mean, from where I was on the right. Like, why did I cross over? It's like I was going for the other outside tree for some reason. I mean, I suppose you're kind of safest at the inside tree, but it doesn't feel like there's a big difference. Because you have to stand in about the same spot to hit the center tree and the outside trees on their inside side, you know. frame or two too long. I mean, it's really the board timing that you have to be consistent at handling. Oh, too soon that time, and I'm just not getting it down. It would be better not to try to time it at all if the board speed actually does change. You shouldn't just do blind timing of it. You have to watch where the boar is actually at and how fast it's coming. I'm kind of struggling with this anyway. Dang it. Right there, I started wondering, what if I swing the axe and it registers as a tree trunk chop instead of a boar chop? But I don't think that happens. I think the boar takes priority if it's there. I think they were smart enough to sort that one out, these SNK programmers. They knew their stuff. I mean, imagine, this is just a hidden bonus game. They didn't have to put anything like this in here. It's crazy, I tell you. And, like, most people would never even see this because they would never even think of putting the game in a black and white system, much less actually have one on hand. There were very few games that came out on the black and white system. It was pretty much quickly replaced sales-wise, at least like in the States. Did it come out in the States even? Yeah, I think it did. Yeah, it did, because like 5 or so black and white games came out in the States. That's right. So that didn't stay on store shelves long, really, before the color came along. Oh, shoot. The snake got me. And it wasn't even a fast snake. It was just right there. I was late noticing it. Again. These snakes are getting a little accurate. 5-1. Maybe nothing will go bad here. It'll just all be smooth sailing. Oh my gosh. That snake was gunning straight at me. Oh, that was a wide chop. I thought I'd screwed that one up. First of all, I didn't think I was going to recover from that last axe chop. And then I thought, oh, I did recover. But then I just kind of panicked and chopped it at that. That was stupid. I had plenty of time to watch that boar and hit him, and I screwed it up. Well, 54K. Steadily getting better, I guess. I mean, I have at least kind of stopped wasting so much movement between the back and forth across the screen from tree to tree. Just really gotta get better at the boar, and then also just seeing the hazards, like seeing the slow moving hazards, the droppings and the snakes sooner. Like you have to kind of see them immediately sometimes. And I mean, like those lightning fast snakes, there's just nothing you can do. If it comes out, there's, you know, it's gonna get you or not. Basically, there's like very little chance you would have time to react and be near enough to the edge of its hit zone that you could actually have time to get your few pixels out of the way. So yeah, that's like Yosaku. It's a pretty sweet little arcade-y wood chopping game. I mean, I pretty much dig this thing. It's kind of become one of my favorite games on the Neo Geo Pocket black and white or color. Just a fun little game to fire up and go for it. I do wish I could find a command, if there is one, for Mednafen to be able to force emulating the black and white system, so I could run it in Mednafen instead of NeoPop, because Mednafen I can run that full screen, whereas in NeoPop the full screen graphics just aren't compatible with my video card. It's just too old, I guess. It's trying to do some video thing that my modern-ish video card is not digging, and it just crashes if I try full screen. So I have to run it windowed, and you can set the window to be 4 times the native resolution, but that's still, the native resolution is 152 pixels high, 160 pixels wide. So 4 times that is still kind of dinky. But it's not full screen anyway, like it could be in Mednafen if I could run it there. But oh well. I mean, it's you know, it's still pretty sweet little game. Maybe running it in a window makes it feel just a little extra special somehow. But yeah, I dig it. Yosaku. So I have some idea before that it was sort of based on some other game. Hold on, let me check my notes. Okay. Oh, I screwed up my own password. Okay. Search. Paradise. Yosaku. Okay. Okay, so I did my shaky cam or shaky handheld console footage in October 2018. That's on the channel. Oh. So Necrosoft Games, which is here on YouTube at that time, told me that it started out as a almost completely lost arcade game about a woodsman chopping trees while avoiding messy bird snakes and wild boars. It was ported as a launch title, Kikori no Yosaku, for the Epoch Cassette Vision console, whatever the heck that was. So if you search for Yosaku videos on YouTube, most of them are of the Epoch Cassette Vision, EPOCH, Cassette Vision. There's one video that I think I found of the original arcade games, and it credited development to Olka Corporation. I guess the video description. Let me go look at this video. Might hear some weird audio here. If I can get the URL. No. Ah, God. Okay, I'm using my crusty portable keyboard. It's not great. Oh shoot, it's an ad. Oh no. Oh, don't listen to the ad. Skip the ad. Come on, YouTube, give me a break. Yeah, the title screen, Play Yosaku Game, Olka Corporation. So what did I find out about Olka Corporation? And it's really crusty graphics, like it's bad looking graphics. Oh, then I went Googling for Yosaku and Olka Corporation. I found some mentions. And I guess there was one in Japanese or something. where a user commented in maybe Japanese, it was transplanted to cassette vision, this is Google translated, 2 years after the arcade version came out. So Kokori no Yosaku came out in 1981. That's the Epic cassette vision version. So then that would mean Yosaku Arcade came out in 1979. Yeah, and I figured that Olka Corporation, which it did say on the title screen, OLCA, probably was meant to refer to Orca Corporation, which was a small game development company that went bankrupt in 1984. Later, some members formed a group called Toa Kikaku Toapon, which translates as Project East Asia, which became the developer Toapon, who did work for SNK in their early years, according to segaretro.org/Toapon. That's Toaplan. So they do give on this Yosaku hidden title screen here. They do credit it to Shin Nihon Kikaku instead of just SNK, which is what it stands for and what they usually just used in credits and everywhere else. But it seems like they might be using the full spelling here, Shin Nihon Kikaku, as sort of a echo of that old group that was the early Toaplan, which called itself Toa Kikaku Toaplan. That meant Project East Asia, and Shin Nihon Kikaku means New Japan Project. They both have that Kikaku part. So that might be why they spelled it out on this title screen. So that's all pretty interesting to me for some reason. So my high score in my shaky cam video, I wrote down, I haven't rewatched it here, as being at 3280. So I've crushed that. 5430, take that, 2018 me, shaky handheld me. I whooped it, but I hadn't really figured out the thing about chopping the outside of the trees first to avoid getting bushwhacked by the boars there, and then to try to optimize your movement so you're not wasting movement time between the trees, or wasting as little as possible anyway. So thanks for watching. Yosaku's sweet. I'll keep wanting to play it. I won't. See, I kind of like, I don't know, like this and like the Neo Geo Pocket Color Pac-Man. I keep just kind of wanting to fire up and just play for like, 10 minutes or something or whatever, but it's kind of awkward to make videos of that short length, and it seems like people might just get irritated by those. I don't know. I want to make videos of everything I play, but I don't know, so I just haven't really been playing them, but, or not, basically what I play of them is what comes up as videos on the channel, so I haven't been playing them a lot, because I don't know, I end up doing longer videos of other stuff, but, yeah, I don't know what's going to happen. Anyway, I got this done, so, yeah, that's it. See you later, 5430. Take that, 2018 me. It's the new internet high score as far as I know for Yosaku, but I haven't checked since 2018 if anybody has actually scored higher than that, so maybe it isn't. I have no idea, really. I can just pretend I'm the world record holder as far as YouTube is concerned, but I'm probably not. Anyway, see you later. Bye-bye. Hello, this is a recording for the hidden black and white Neo Geo Pocket game Yosaku. I've done a shaky video of this game before, but I finally got my ROMs dumped and I'm running it in an emulator, the NeoPop emulator, which is old, but it lets me force the emulator to emulate a Neo Geo Pocket game in a Neo Geo, from a Neo Geo Pocket cartridge. It is not taking my input right now though, because it is switched to the controller. Okay, so that startup screen there says it's basically just a generic thing saying you put a monochrome game or a color game in a monochrome system, because I've told the emulator to emulate a Neo Geo Pocket system, which was a black and white system that was out for a fairly brief amount of time before they replaced it with the Neo Geo Pocket Color system, which ran games in color. This is in the King of Fighters Battle to Paradise or Battle of Paradise game cartridge, which is a color game. It's like a board game that only came out in Japan for the Neo Geo Pocket Color. And every Neo Geo Pocket Color game, as far as I'm aware, when you put it in a black and white system, it gives some kind of message or something, generally just saying this is for a color system. You have to put it in a color system. Some of the games just play in black and white on a black and white system. This one, though, it has that message saying, hey, you're supposed to run this in a color system, but then you push the button and you get this. Yosaku, and I have more notes about this in my old previous video of it, which is still on my channel. It appears to be based on an old arcade game called Yosaku or something or other, which was made by, I think, a group called Orca Corporation, which eventually became Toaplan, and Toaplan did some early work for SNK, and they were known for a while by a longer version of their name, which had Kikaku in the title. It was like Toa Kikaku or something, Kikaku Toaplan, and it meant like East Asia Project, whereas SNK stands for Shin Nihon Kikaku, which means New Japan Project. So they're sort of similar names, and SNK usually just used the abbreviation SNK, but here they have spelled it out, I think, as an echo of that old Toaplan predecessor who made Yosaku, or who had come from Orca Corporation, who had made the Yosaku arcade game somewhere around 1981, perhaps. Orca Corporation went out of business in 1984. There was a console port to the Epic Cassette Vision console. I have no idea what that is. A couple years later, perhaps, after the arcade version, so like 82, 83 or something. Anyway, so this game has much better graphics than the arcade version or the Epic version. If you search for Yosaku game or whatever on YouTube, most of the hits will be of the Epic cassette console version. I did find one previously that appeared to be the arcade version, and that's where you see on the title screen, it doesn't say Orca Corporation, it says Olka, which I think was just a misspelling. This is all kind of guesswork, but I spelled it out in more detail in my older video that I did in 2018, playing Yosaku on my actual black and white Neo Geo Pocket and filming it with a webcam. But I finally got a cart dumper to dump my cartridges, so now I can play it in the emulator. I'm playing it in the NeoPop emulator, which is an old emulator. It hasn't been updated since like early or mid 2000s. But it has the very important ability to, you can tell it to emulate either a black and white system or a color system, regardless of what system the cartridge you put it, the ROM you're emulating was made for. So I'm running a color ROM, but telling it to emulate being in a black and white system. The more modern emulator, Mednafen, which I am using for most of my Neo Geo Pocket Color and Pocket emulation, color and black and white emulation. Oh, I did that wrong. Stay over here and chop this down. Mednafen actually took NeoPop's code. And there was one of them turbo snakes. So it inherited like NeoPop's bugs, and oh no, I didn't move fast enough. Those droppings are getting faster. You basically got dropping snakes and boars. Those are your problems. But Mednafen is command line only, and the setting in NeoPop that lets you tell it to emulate a black and white system even though you're using a color game, which is necessary to get this hidden black and white bonus game in the color Battle to Paradise to show up. That's a menu, a drop-down menu in NeoPop, but the documentation for Mednafen does not list a equivalent command line setting or command for it. And I've asked on the Mednafen forum maybe about close to a month ago now, maybe 3 weeks, I don't know. And if there is oh, see that snake, that was just turbo snake straight up the wazoo. There's nothing I can do about that. And nobody has replied, so I would be surprised if there is an equivalent command that's been implemented in Mednafen to let me do it. So I have to run it in NeoPop, as far as I know. And the only drawback to that is that NeoPop's full screen mode does not work for me. It just crashes. It's an old program, so I think it's just incompatibility with oh my gosh, that snake just, dang it. Some of these deaths here have been just about unavoidable. I think most of the critter movements are kind of randomized. I haven't been noticing them coming in a particular pattern from attempt to attempt, and I had just played it right before this. I played it for maybe about half an hour and talking into my microphone the whole time, and then I ended and went to turn off the recording and realized that I had forgotten to press record. So here I'm trying again. My high score was somewhere in the 50, in the 5,000s, low 5,000s then. So if I can get back over 50k, I'll be happy. I think it was 5400. But I think in my 2018 recording with on a webcam on the actual black and white system, I think my high there was, that was close, was 3,800 or something. So I at least have beat that here on I am recording. And this is stupid because, like, since I am running NeoPop in a window, I can see my OBS window, my recording software window, and I can see if the recording button is active or not. And I just didn't notice that the whole entire time, I guess. Gosh. Oh well. I've divulged all my knowledge of Yosaku more efficiently on this second attempt, so I guess that's better. But basically what I found in that now lost recording is that from earlier this evening. Oh, come on. Oh, I didn't get settled fast enough. That was just poor play. I had enough time. That it's best to go for the, or it seems best I can figure, to go for the outsides of the two outer trees. Oh god, I can't get the boar timing consistent though. I think maybe the boar speeds up gradually as you get to higher stages, and I keep losing the timing on him, or the spacing, or whatever, and I'm getting rampaged on. So immediately I'm going for the outside chops on the trees on the outer sides, because once that boar starts coming, if it just happens to come on the side you're at, if you were right here, if it came from the right when I was there, I would just be dead. There'd be no time to react. Like there, I should have had time, but I did that last chop, and you recover very slowly from a chop, and so that was death. So I did not have time to finish that chop and then turn and get the right spacing on the boar. So that was clumsy. Again, it's all... You have to be very precise in this game, because your guy is so slow to recover from a chop. And you don't really have much wiggle room for misses or anything, so it takes 4 chops to take down a tree, or to finish notching one side of the tree. So you have to do 8 chops total, 4 to each side, and then the tree is done. You get 10 points per chop, except the 8th chop that ends up eliminating the tree. That gives you 100. So you get 170 points per tree, I think. I'm not sure if that goes up anytime if you get to higher levels. I haven't been paying that much attention to the score, to the points per specific action. Oh no. No, it's that last chop that gets you. Alright, I'll take a few more pokes at this for now, but I don't think I'm gonna get up to my now lost high score that's in my head of 54k, 5400. My previous recorded high from my webcam video from 2018 was, I think, 3800. Did I say that already? So yeah, at least I got into 40 something. Dang it, bird. The trees actually block the bird droppings if you're under their branches, which is nice. Which makes you wonder why he wants to chop them all down, but hopefully it's for some reasonably good reason and in some sustainable fashion. Oh no, wasted chop. Don't waste time. But see, as long as, so far, as long as I get to the outside of the outer trees first, then I don't get the boar surprising me so much. Uh-oh. Shoot. I don't know if I could have squeezed between the two of those, but I didn't manage it anyway. The rice balls at the bottom represent your lives. And I'm not sure if the final boar waits until all the trees are down before it comes out, or if you took long enough, if it would come out on its own, but so far it comes out automatically so far for me when I finish felling all 3 trees on a stage. That forces the last boar to come. Ah! Okay, wow, that actually worked. Had to dodge the snake first, then get the boar. Okay, where's he coming? Okay. Look at this determined expression on this Yosaku. I mean, is this Yosaku? I don't know what Yosaku means. I keep trying to look it up, but I think I did it better once. All I get if I just search Yosaku like name or something is, I shouldn't search for Yosaku. No, I was searching what does Yosaku mean in, dang it, in Japanese. And it just takes me to like lists of meanings of the name if somebody was named Yosaku, so I don't know if it is always used as a person's name. So in that case you would figure it's the name of this woodsman. But the meanings that I found aren't just like, it's not just like, you know, woodsman or laborer or oaf or anything particular like that. There's one that's like cultivator or something like that, but it seems like a stretch. I mean, and that's out of like 30 meanings that these sites just throw out at you for what a given name means, so I don't know. Uh-oh, too many. I was mashing the button too hard. You have very little window in a lot of cases for error here, and as soon as that boar appeared, I would have needed to be cognizant of that and not taking that last axe swing on that tree. Because I did not have time to recover from that to get the boar. That was a fast snake, I think. But so yeah, then I learned, so the outer chops on the outer trees, and then just, see, I did another chop. One chop too many. Didn't turn and get the boar. Got me the same way as on the last stage. But yeah, then not wasting time and just going at the closest tree. Yeah, it definitely gets faster. 47. Alright, one more try. 4,700. Can I break 50 in actual recording instead of a accidentally not recording session? Oh man. Those turbo snakes, it's just... Okay, I screwed up. Oh, it's another turbo snake. Okay. Failed. Failed on the first boar. Do you gain lives? Oh, shoot. Ah. Come on. Dang it, bird. And the sounds are so weird. Like the dropping sound is like a little inklings noise for some reason. But I mean, with some of the deaths being almost unavoidable, if you do take an avoidable death, it feels like, oh man, I've screwed up now. I'm just not gonna have enough lives to get good score, right? I mean, that's sort of... Oh, see, like that. Just waited a fraction of a second too long to swing at the boar. But the timing of the boar hitting the boar is very narrow in itself, so I just don't have it down as consistently enough. Or it's not so much the timing as the range to the boar, because the axe swing is actually pretty much instant, right? It's really the spacing of the hit onto the boar, and I keep thinking my one excuse for my inconsistency with that is that I think the boar gradually speeds up as you progress, which means you have to readjust your own sense of when to swing as he's coming at you. Because I think there's got to be a, of course there's some kind of inherent button press delay, so there's going to be some number of frames you have to swing ahead of time. And then there's a few frames after you take out the last boar, or maybe potentially the last tree, there's a few frames there as you can see, where like the dropping kept coming at me for a couple frames. So I'm not sure, it hasn't happened yet, but potentially you could like whack the last boar and then be killed by some other thing in that frame or two before it takes you to the next stage. I'm not sure if that's possible or if you're invulnerable at that point. Given how unforgiving the game is, I doubt that you're actually invulnerable at that point. But I have had it cut, what seems like cut pretty, like right there. Like that dropping, it seems like maybe that time it was like a frame away from hitting me. But I've had a snake who really seemed like they would have killed me in that brief pause after taking out the boar. Normally that snake would have killed me. Not that one right there. In the now lost recording from just before this one. Oh, I'm dead. That keeps happening to me. Dang it. I thought it was over. I thought it was ending, so I didn't. I'm gonna have to do one more. I've had too many stupid deaths on this one. 4,200. Unless I get to 50k. If I get to 50k, then we're good for now. 50k, 50, 100. That's what I mean. Whatever that is. Nope. Dang it. Okay, one more. I'm only in the 4,000s. Okay, there I just wasted a fraction of a second being not sure if I had to whack the tree again. Ah! Dang it, snake. Oh, just waste my time. Okay. Whacking on, I guess, yeah, if you're hitting the inside side of the outer tree there, you're still kind of close to the edge, and if you're just spamming away with the button, a boar could come at exactly the wrong time and be more or less unavoidable. That was an avoidable death. Right there, I just mistimed the boar. Dang it, snake. Seems like, yeah, so I keep getting a boar at me at about this point. But that's okay as long as I'm ready. I should be able to recover and get him. Gosh dang it, I got thrown off. I let myself get thrown off by that dropping. I had to move a little bit. And I just failed to plant myself and swing at the right time. It's very kind of martial art sensibility about this. You gotta make a precise chop. And you have to do it deliberately so you're not moving while you're doing it. Well, there was no getting around that. I had to wait for that snake, so that chop was useless, but it didn't really matter. And then you gotta be prepared here because the boar is gonna come. Wakey, wakey. I mean, probably it gets fast enough that things to chop there. That maybe eventually you do start getting marauded on when you're at the very beginning, when you're on the outside. If you're, if you go for the outside, you could still have a boar come fast enough to get you. I'm not sure. I haven't really seen that start to seem like it's happening though, so maybe not. Maybe you always have a little buffer time at the beginning. Oh man, Turbo Snake. I thought maybe I should stop chopping because the boars have consistently been coming here, but then I didn't, and then they came. So I have to start being prepared for that because it seems to be consistent right now. Oh no! I'm gonna do one more. Unless I get to 50K. Dang it. There was that boar from the right. Maybe there is more of a pattern to the boars than I had thought. There's also a bit of the axe timing. Like if you really have the timing perfect, you can, of course, get those swings in just a little faster than you would by just randomly kind of spamming on the button. Gonna come boar? Yep. Miscounted, lost track of my chops. No. I was thinking I was full of myself. And, just didn't. I've lost it. Am I gonna have to go again? I can't stop playing. I keep screwing up. Gosh dang it. It's just devastating when you just screw up like that. I feel like my whole attempt is ruined. I might as well just reboot. But that's how shmups feel. But I think there's a little bit of randomness. Like the birds and the snakes do seem to be random. And the boars, maybe a little bit. See, and now I was wondering, like, I can't concentrate. I was wondering if, because on that last one I did get more boars, like I failed at the boars until one came from the other side. And I was wondering if that would change the pattern of when the boar would come at me on the middle tree. And then they did come from the other side this time. And now my timing is just completely shot. Well. I think, oh, it shows my high score there. It doesn't save it between sessions. I think 4,700 is as much as I'm gonna, we'll take one last chop at it, so to speak. But their timing is consistent. Oh, I'm wasting time myself. So that's... Dang it, I just can't get out of the first stage without missing a boar and getting whacked. So that first board timing is pretty consistent. You might even say it's completely consistent. And then was the second one, did I get that far? The second one seemed kind of consistent. So 2 chops and then a boar is going to come. But then your timing can get thrown off by the bird and the snakes. And now I've lost track of when the next boar is going to... Well, I guess the next boar doesn't come until because I can get all the trees down. And then you're clear. So I guess that's just 2 boars a stage. Somehow seems like more than that, of course. Oh, come on, snake. Don't throw my timing of the boars off. But you have. Now I threw that off with the wasted chop, so this boar is gonna come right about now. Okay. So that first boar is definitely on a timer. And then all of them seem to be on a consistent timer, actually, because the second one is not coming until I take the last tree down, then it comes after about a second. And that's definitely triggered by the tree coming down, not by an overall timer from the start of the stage. Almost forgot to pause after the second whack there. Ugh. Dang it. I didn't need to take that last chop, of course. Snake freaks me out. Yes. See, like the death before that didn't bother me so much because that was very tight timing, but that second death there, that was sloppy. Gotta be able to deal with a little adjustment to your... Oh, he came from the other side, and I failed to get myself prepared. Like, I gotta just be able to react to it, but I'm not. There, I did it though. 5100. Got into the 50s. That's all I wanted. It's a simple needs, right? Simple life for this woodsman. Just wanted a 50-100 high score. Nope. Well, 54 or something was what I remembered getting last time, so in my lost episode from just before this. So I guess I pretty much equaled that. I know I had some third digit there, but whatever. I didn't memorize it, so it doesn't count. 5400, I did it. I think it was that, maybe. I don't know. I guess I don't remember. So we'll just say it's 5400. That's a nice round number. I like that. It's perfect. My previous... my webcam video, I think it was 3800. So I did learn something here about the boar and how its timing is consistent. I I didn't see a whole lot of turbo speed snakes in this one. There were a couple early on, but then they seemed to stop. So I wonder, or maybe I just stopped worrying about. But I swear I wasn't seeing as many of them. But yeah, still can improve a lot in terms of consistency and getting the boar and not screwing up the timing or spacing or whatever you want to call it there. And then just in reacting correctly when the snake or something throws me off a little bit. Anyway, it's a really sweet game. I don't know. Something about this game just does it for me. So this is Yosaku. It's the hidden black and white game. What you get if you put the King of Fighters Battle to Paradise color game cartridge in a black and white Neo Geo Pocket system. And I am emulating it now since I was able to dump my Battle to Paradise cartridge. I'm emulating it in NeoPop because NeoPop can lets you pick which system you want to emulate, even if you're using the opposite system's cart. So I'm loading my color ROM Battle to Paradise, but I'm telling it to act like it's a Neo Geo Pocket black and white system, and so you get Yosaku, which only comes up if you do in real life. If you do put the color Battle to Paradise cartridge in a black and white Neo Geo Pocket system and not the Neo Geo Pocket Color system. Yeah, I mean most every Neo Geo Pocket Color cartridge, official game has to do something like, some kind of, usually they just pop up a message saying, hey, this needs to be put in a color system. Some of them actually play pretty much fully, more or less, in a black and white system, just play in black and white, like Pac-Man. But most of them just give a message and say, hey, this needs to be in a color system, and that's it. Some of them will have cute graphics or something. Match of the Millennium, SNK versus Capcom Match of the Millennium actually will show you like a series, one per boot, of a dozen or so sort of cartoons of the Capcom and SNK fighting characters. In the US version of the game, it just gives you a generic, hey, this needs to be in a color system. In the Japanese version, you actually get little conversations between the characters in the from the drawing, which is so they didn't bother translating all that for the US version of that game. But this is way better. You actually get a full hidden mini game, and it's a sweet mini game. I mean, it's basically an arcade game. It was an arcade game in apparently 1981 from Orca Corporation, or Olka Corporation as it's actually spelled on that game's title screen in the one YouTube video of the actual arcade version that I seem to have found. I have a lot of notes about that. Maybe I'll just put, I'll put up the link to my my playlist, and if you go to that playlist, you'll easily find the previous Yosaku video, and the description under that video has links to all these videos, other videos I'm talking about, where I found these old things out about the old arcade game and its one console port, and then about the people who made it and how they became Toaplan, how their early name before it was just reduced to Toaplan was something that was sort of had Kikaku in it, so it sounded kind of like Shin Nihon Kikaku, but it was like Far East Project instead of New Japan Project. But Shin Nihon Kikaku, of course, became known by their what's the word, abbreviation, acronym? I don't know English even, SNK. But you see here they're using Shin Nihon Kikaku probably as a callback to that old group that evolved from Orca Corporation before they became Toaplan, who then did go on to do some work for SNK or Shinhon Kikaku. That's all I got. I gotta go. I've now done 2 recordings. This one is actually definitely recording, so should get uploaded. 54K. I think my previous score is a tiny bit higher, but who cares? 54K, that might be the new internet high score. Back when I recorded the first episode in 2018, I got like 38, not K, 3,800 something, which, as far as I could tell, was the high score among videos. There weren't very many. So if nobody has posted a higher score in the intervening, how many years has it been? The entire epidemic and so forth. Anyway, however many years it's been there, I can't do basic math. Then this is still the new high score, but it's because nobody else has been playing as far as I know, but I haven't looked. Probably, well, I wouldn't say probably somebody has, because I'd be a little surprised if somebody had. It's a hidden game. But maybe somebody did. That'd be cool. But for now, I'm going to claim myself as I've raised my world record to a mighty 5,400. Thanks for watching. If you scored a higher score, feel free to let me know, and I will feel shame and embarrassment, and I will probably just give up. But maybe someday I'll do another recording and not fail at recording it quite so badly as I did today. Anyway, I had fun. Yosaku's rad. See you later.